Det er ikke så streng som de sier.
Hold kjeft.
Stellan, lovely to meet you, and I just wanted to ask you what really resonated with the script when you first read it.
Well, I was approached several years before we shot it, and at that time the script wasn't that good. It was a sort of, as it still is, a traditional kind of get-out-of-jail story. But what really got me interested, first of all, I wanted to work with the director. I've known him for many years. But then he told me that he was starting to scout the countryside of Norway to find kids with a troubled background, often criminal background, to play the boys. And then I got really interested, because if you can get that level of authenticity to a story that is in its structure rather conventional, it could be interesting. And he did put up camps, workshops with those kids. For over a year he scouted Norway and came up with some fantastic boys. Most of them had never been near a camera or a stage, or like Olaf, the boy who plays the blonde lead. He said after the shoot, he said to the director, "This is the first thing in my life that I've completed." He was on probation when we found him. And it was amazing not only to see how they grew in front of the camera as human beings, because suddenly, probably for the first time in their lives, to some of them, they were trusted and given responsibility, because they had to get up, they had to deliver every day. And they were treated like I was treated, like all the other actors were treated, which was a kind of respect they've never experienced before. It was very interesting.
Flykt är ju bara barnslig fantasi.
Vad hade jag gjort med dig?
Försvinn! Du har sett lite av världen och så tror du att du förstår, men det gör du inte så.
Nej, besyrer det mye jag inte förstår.
Was it interesting for you as an actor and a performer to act along people that does it bring out more truth really in your performance, because you're acting with people that really connect to the content of the story?
It puts some pressure on me, because I can't go in and use some tricks and be elegant in my acting. I have to be as truthful as they are. But it's interesting. I mean, I'm actually, in my acting, I'm always trying to be as good as an amateur, which is very hard after 90 films or whatever it is. But that is my constant goal. So it was really good. And I mean, the way you work becomes different, because in some ways it was like shooting with children. You have to repeat and repeat and repeat and do things over and over again until they hit the tone. But it took them just a couple of weeks, the more talented of them, before they understood that they actually understood what it was all about, that all they had to do was be truthful in the situation. And it's amazing with kids kids who has always been punished for showing feelings, that has this hardened surface, when they suddenly get awarded for showing feelings. It was very interesting.
Part of the story, or the main theme of the story, is the mistreatment of human beings, and was that something that you connected with, that you wanted to explore further?
Well, we have to remember that to us in Scandinavia today, this kind of camp is of course a horrible situation, but to most children of the world today, it is it's every day they have a situation that is much worse. We live in a time where our view of the way we look in the West on children today is something really new and very local, unfortunately.
And with regards to the character and the part that you play, I mean, I saw him as a sympathetic character, really. Did you see him in the same respect?
Yes, the thing was, his function in the film is the oppressor, but it was important to make sure that it wasn't him being an evil person. That was not the problem, because if he was replaced by somebody else, the oppression would still be there. It's a system thing. It has to do with the society and the way they view people and at that time also children. So you had to make him. I tried to make him progressive for his time, but of course he lets the children down. I mean, he's a coward too, and he bends to the pressure from the society.
Well, I wondered whether he's as much a victim of the system. Not as much so, obviously, as the children, but you know, there's repercussions. If he tries to change the rules, then that's going to fall back on him, isn't it? Really, and it's
definitely. And when the sexual abuse thing happens, it is unspeakable crimes we're talking about at that time, which means that if it was revealed that it happened on his island, he would be disgraced in the society at that time. That's why he cowardly sort of tries to cover it up.
Stopp! Knock!
With respect to that particular period as well, was it interesting for you to explore the relationships really and the repressed feelings of human beings at that particular time as well?
Yeah, well, it's always interesting. It's always interesting to sort of put the lid on your character, where the character is holding back his feelings and he's working against his instincts, and that makes always the role more interesting. And in this case, there was a big social conventional lid on the governor's expressions and feelings and everything.
And the film itself, the way it's shot, and it's in very bleak conditions, which couldn't have been that pleasant to work in. Do you think as well that emphasised the bleakness and accentuated the bleakness really of their situation that they were in?
Absolutely, it's beautifully shot by John Andreas, the DP. But it was a very bleak place. We shot it in the middle of nowhere in Estonia, and it was very cold and it was extremely depressing. But we had a lot of fun doing it.